Hey everybody, Dr. Brian Dixon here, and today I want to talk to you about an organ that you ironically don't think a lot about, and that's your brain. Now if you think about that for a second, our human brain is literally the only brain on this planet that has gotten so sophisticated that it can think about itself. But let me throw a couple other little fun facts at you to help get you thinking about your brain. Our brain only weighs about 3 pounds. And no, it's not true that bigger is better. They've done studies looking at small brains versus large brains, and we all have the same mental capacity. But our brain, even though it only weighs about 3 pounds, consumes about 20% of the calories, blood flow, and oxygen that we consume every single day. And it's doing it every second of every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So if you put that into context to the rest of our body, our brain, pound for pound, is consuming between 10 to 15 times more of the energy than any other tissue in our body. So now you can imagine how important it is that we're getting the right nutrients to the brain to help it do all of that massive thinking and focus that it needs. So let's talk about nutrition and the brain. The brain actually feeds itself a little bit differently than the rest of our tissues. And the reason is because there's something called a blood-brain barrier. So what is the blood-brain barrier? It turns out the blood-brain barrier is a unique set of cells that line all of the blood vessels that are feeding the brain. They are very, very tightly packed. And more than that, other tissues and cells of the brain also pack in really tight against these cells to really regulate what things can get into the bloodstream. So obviously we need nutrition to get there, but this blood-brain barrier is really serving to regulate exactly what's getting in there. Our brain is working differently because a lot of molecules that might just diffuse into our other tissues aren't allowed to diffuse directly into the brain. A lot of these nutrients are actively transported. So that means that there's literally a little carrier molecule that has to pick up the nutrient and carry it across into the actual brain tissues. So what nutrients are important for overall brain health and brain function? Well, let's start first with fat. Again, if we look at just the weight of our brain, right, 3 pounds, 60% of that is fat. So fat is incredibly important for our brain. But of that 60%, 75% is specifically DHA. So one of these very healthy and important omega-3 fatty acids. So right there, obviously very important to get plenty of those omega-3 fatty acids, and specifically EPA and DHA. Then some other nutrients that have been shown to promote brain health are the B vitamins. Because of all of those energy requirements that are going on in our brain, we need to make sure we're supporting energy productions, and B vitamins is the best way to do that. Another important nutrient for brain health is magnesium. So not only does it help support energy production inside of the brain, but it also helps with the nerve conductivity. So that means it's helping the neurons send the signals that it needs everywhere in the brain and then throughout the rest of our bodies. Vitamin E has been shown to be incredibly important for, again, neuronal conductivity. Another important nutrient would be alpha lipoic acid. Because our brains are so metabolically active, we also have to be thinking about protecting ourselves from oxidative stress. So of course, things that are going to help protect ourselves from those free radicals are going to be incredibly important. So a healthy diet that's full of a bunch of different antioxidants. So whether it's vitamin antioxidants, things like vitamin C, we talked about vitamin E already, or if it's just these phytonutrients or these other healthy nutrients that come from these fruits and vegetables, are also incredibly helpful to support overall brain health. So I hope that helps give you just a little bit more appreciation about your brain, give you something to think about. So next time you sit down at the table or you're taking a nutritional supplement, think about your brain and how you can best support it.